Pike here, Zebulon Pike. I'm looking for some land for a fort I need to build.
This is Stephen Gallman Long.
Things are moving, things are happening.
Henry Hastings Sibley. I'm trying to find my way financially, and I've heard that there's some money to be made around here, especially with these Indian tribes.
Sometimes people would even leave eagle feathers here, offerings. Oh, Mitaka.
Treaty of Traverse des Sioux, Reenactments 1851. Two groups of people, the United States government official Luke Lee and the Native American tribe representative, Wakineatonka, or Big Thunder. The two people would step up to the stand where they would sign the treaties. They would then go over it and start talking casually to each other as if they were making a joke about the weather, like they could understand each other fluently. Wakineatonka signs 2 copies of the treaty. Unfortunately, Wakineatonka unknowingly pretty much signed his and his tribe's death certificates.
Is that okay?
And then dun dun dun. Just kidding.
Well, nice sign.
What is this? What does it mean? What is it making us do?
Oh, well, it's nothing much. We, the government, would just move your whole tribe's location and land and take more of your land later. We'd give your tribe small camps, enough to live off of. Barely.
Well, it's not like I have much of a choice to sign this, do I?
Of course you do. Everyone has a choice, my friend, but I wouldn't go against it.
What would you do if I didn't sign it?
Either you do this and sign the treaty, or we'll take your land by force and leave you with nothing. Sign right here.
Alright.
All right, we're here today in front of Ingebrigtsen's here in South Minneapolis to invite all the people who have immigrated here from Norway. We're inviting you to go back home. We hear that Norway has some of the most progressive socialist governments in the world, and I have a list of 10 reasons why you should move back to Norway. I know you might be worried because you don't speak Norwegian anymore. You lost your language when you came here. Most people in Norway today speak English. It's a very friendly country. Fathers there can take up to 12 weeks paid leave during the first 3 years after the baby is born. Growing old in Norway is also beneficial. Citizens over the age of 67 receive a minimum of $1,000 a month. So you wouldn't have to worry about growing old in Norway. Healthcare is pretty much free for everybody. Norway is also today has a booming economy. There's a lot of offshore oil wells, and they have a solar. I'm getting distracted by all the activity behind me. If you were in Norway, you wouldn't have to worry about that. There's just miles and miles and miles of open countryside, forests, fjords, I believe they're called, lakes. You wouldn't miss the Minnesota lakes at all. People in Norway are happier and they live longer. The average life expectancy in Norway is 81 years, which is higher than even right here in Minnesota. Norway has a low crime rate, and it has fewer prisons. There are only 4,000 prisoners in all of Norway. The crime rate is lower, and if you do commit a crime, there are services that they do instead of sending you to prison. Norway has the highest number of electrical cars in the world, and they have a high level of education. And education in Norway is free. Again, we want to invite you to move home to Norway. Thank you.
Berus, Dora, De Larsen, Liederladen, Sorumsen, Salika, Rocker, Hagenzagen, Sandvika, Belgenhitsen, Barneben, Garaji. I really hear what you're saying about, us white people moving back to Europe, and there are really a lot of advantages to that. It does sound like a great life there, but I'm not from there. I was born here in the United States. Is there any way we can stay? Is there any way that we can just choose to stay here? Some of us?
Well, there is a way. You'd have to get a visa, like a work visa, if you were to stay here. And to do that, you just have to go to the government and ask for an opportunity to stay.
What government are you talking about?
Probably the native communities or the embassies, like Red Lake Embassy.
And do I have to prove something? Do I have to have someone vouch for me?
You'd probably want proof of work, and you'd probably want someone on your side to vouch for you so you could stay here instead of having to go back to your homeland.
Isn't this my homeland?
Well, not from your generation's ancestors, technically.
Oh, okay. So I have to go apply then and prove that I have a job?
You have to stay here. That's what I think.
Do I have to come back every month and just to?
I think about every 5 months you have to come and get rechecked, see if you're still in work or not.
Okay.
Apply here for a work visa.
We are here to invite all the people from Sweden to move back home. As you know, or maybe you don't know, Sweden benefits are some of the best in the world. We have a car going by once again. It is so distracting. Once everybody goes back home, it'll be a lot more quieter here for those of us who remain. In Sweden, everybody gets 5 weeks paid vacation. Every parent gets 480 days of paid parental leave, and that is both for men and women. Healthcare is semi-free. Once you move back home, you won't notice any change in climate. They have winters just like we do. They have summers, spring, fall. For those of you that are continually plugged into the internet, whether that's Facebook, your mobile devices, Sweden has one of the fastest internet connections in the world. They are serious about their technology, and they're way ahead of all of the rest of the other European nations in terms of their technological capabilities. Public transportation in Stockholm is so excellent that you don't even need a car. People can travel 24/7 by public transportation in Stockholm. They have a relaxed way of life that is absent here. You can enjoy a pretty stress-free lifestyle in Sweden. They have not only free education, but they also have a very relaxed attitude towards swearing. So for those of you who enjoy swearing occasionally, all the time, Sweden would be the excellent place for you to go back home to. The working conditions there are excellent. They have an idea that, and I will try to pronounce this in Swedish, jantelagen. And this is the idea that you are not any better than anybody else. And that idea permeates the working conditions there. If you moved to Malmo in Sweden, you would not even know that you had ever left the Great Lakes of northern Minnesota. The landscape there looks exactly like Duluth. The people look exactly like you look. The only difference is that some of them may speak Swedish. But the majority of the people also do speak English. Once again, we encourage you all to go back home. Enjoy the benefits of your home country. Good morning. We are standing here outside of the Black Forest Inn in Minneapolis, and we're here to invite people of German descent to move back to Germany. I know that many of you who are of German descent love Indians. You enjoy your relationship with Native people here on this continent, but so do your ancestors back in Germany. They love Indians. They have lots of pretend Indians. They have whole villages of German people who live in teepees, dress like Indians. There's nothing that you would miss by moving back home. You could have that whole Native American experience right back in your homeland. And then you wouldn't have to deal with like Native issues here. Germany is the leader in the world in solar energy. They also have the lowest youth unemployment rate in all of Europe because they have a fantastic apprenticeship program for the youth. Also in Germany, there are very lax speed limits. You can drive as fast as you want across German roads. They have delicious bread. They have delicious cakes. And then on Sunday, it really is the Sabbath. Everything closes down on Sunday. There's no working, no being busy. It leads to a much reduced level of stress. Germany is known for their workers' rights. Employment protection ranks high. You work fewer weekly hours in Germany, and then if you are laid off, you're paid monthly wages for every year that you've worked for the company. Germany also has excellent playgrounds. They have some of the most exquisite playgrounds in the world. So for those of you with children, they will not lack for safe and fun places to play. The public transportation work, trains run on time. There are high-speed rail connections not only within Germany but throughout Europe. And then you'll look fashionable compared to everybody else. You won't have to worry about seeing people wearing pajamas in the middle of the day. Again, we encourage you to move back home. Good morning. We're here to invite those of you to return home to your mother country. England is a leading world power, and you would feel right at home there. English is the first language. You wouldn't have to worry about speaking another language or growing accustomed to another language. It is also the land of tiny houses. I know that there's a big movement here in this part of the world for people to do tiny houses. In England, they're already filled with tiny houses. It wouldn't even be a question in people's minds. You would just live in a tiny house. The other thing that England has is pubs. Lots of pubs. On every corner there's a pub. And the pubs have nightly events or weekly events where people from the community gather and sing at their neighborhood pub. You can order your groceries online in England. It's pretty common. That's what most people do. I have friends who have already moved to England because of the National Health Service. Healthcare is available for all. The infrastructure of the country is in much better shape than here, probably because they've been around for so long. The other thing is that they have world-class museums, theaters, concerts, bookstores. It's also the home of the Beatles. For those of you who are nostalgic for those years, you could just go hang out in Liverpool. So once again, England is the mother country. If you return home to England, you could research your ancestry, and you might find out that you actually really are a princess, and it wouldn't have to be some kind of false Cherokee lineage. You could be connected to a royalty. Again, return home, please.
I really hear what you're saying about, us white people moving back to Europe, and there are really a lot of advantages to that. It does sound like a great life there, but I'm not from there. I was born here in the United States. Is there any way we can stay? Is there any way that we can just choose to stay here? Some of us?
Well, there is a way. You'd have to get a visa, like a work visa, if you were to stay here. And to do that, you just have to go to the government and ask for an opportunity to stay. And,
what government are you talking about?
probably the native communities or the embassies, like Red Lake Embassy.
And do I have to prove something? Do I have to have someone vouch for me?
You'd probably want proof of work, and you'd probably want someone on your side to vouch for you so you could stay here instead of having to go back to your homeland.
Isn't this my homeland?
Well, not from your generation's ancestors, technically.
Oh, okay. So I have to go apply then and prove that I have a job?
You have to stay here. That's what I think.
Do I have to come back every month and just to?
I think about every 5 months you have to come and get rechecked, see if you're still in work or not.
Okay.
Apply here for a work visa.